Hello and welcome to our first episode of our YouTube channel, and we're going to talk about AEC Regals, and who best to talk about it with than my brother Scott.
Hi.
Yeah, so let's get straight into it and let's talk about AEC Regals. Now, you've had two AEC Regals in the past, haven't you?
I've owned two in the past, yeah. The first one was the Hebel tow truck from Halifax.
And that's an early post or AEC
early
Regal.
post, 1946. Had a Wayman body originally.
Yeah.
And the second Regal I owned was a London Transport RF, one of the green ones in the country area.
So Scott's quite knowledgeable with AEC, well, AECs in general, really. And we're sat here with two lovely AEC Regals. We've got on our right a 1950 Claxton bodied AEC Regal 9621A, which is a designated 9.6 AEC engine with a crash gearbox. And then we've got a 662 1932 AEC Regal with a Strawn body, still with its original 7.4 high powered head petrol engine. So two rare survivors. This one's the only Claxton bodied AEC Regal 3 in existence, and this one's the only one of its kind Strawn bodied Orange Brothers Bedlington AEC Regal, a survivor.
Very rare indeed.
Yeah, so so also I've got here, which is the best AEC Regal book to purchase, and it goes back to the 80s. This is my book which I got given by my father for Christmas in 1983.
Wow.
Yeah.
In pristine condition.
Pristine. Tells you all you want to know about AEC Regals. Everything.
AEC
so, you know, let's start from the beginning. Designed by G.J. Rackham.
Indeed. Yeah.
John to his friends. He came from Leyland after designing the Leyland Titan and Tiger, and it's obviously poached by AEC. Some say he left Leyland because of the climate, because it was in the northwest of England, so it was raining all the time. But who knows?
Yeah, I've read that story.
Yeah. So, yeah, he designed the 6.6 petrol engine for the AEC Regal and Regent. This one is a derived bigger bore version, the 7.4 litre.
Would that be just for express work, coach work? Do you think?
I think service vehicles did have that as well. I'm not sure really.
Yeah, I suppose it depends in the area where they operated.
Yeah.
They tended to have bigger engines in demanding areas of hill climbing places like that.
Yeah, I think this was the reason for the 7.4 was put in a lot of coach vehicles, which was a demand for a race for Scotland to London express services in the 30s, which is what this AEC Regal would have done down the old A1.
To provide a quick service, which people wanted in those days.
This old girl ran down the A1, the Great North Road, from Glasgow, Edinburgh to London in the early 30s, so can you just imagine that? So,
Indeed, yeah.
And
able to recreate that one day, Ashley. Sure.
Some say the output on these was that fierce they would wheel slip in wet weather, so something really.
I bet you get a lot of wheel slip, especially on cobbles, and backfiring. Was obviously a problem with petrol engines in those days.
Of course, yeah.
Well, it wasn't a problem; it was the norm, really.
Yeah.
You know, not that I was around in those days, I might tell.
Yeah. And they were capable of 60 miles an hour as well. 60 miles an hour.
Which is unbelievable.
They
in
won't
those
want to
days.
stop at that. Well, obviously it's got the short rad in it.
Yeah.
Which is
starting out
pre-37, I think. It's supposed to MHY with its longer rad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fabulous. It's still got its original blinds from all those years United. Yeah, which it last ran Berwick Depot, Northumberland.
Right.
So it was doing Berwick, Newcastle, locals in Edinburgh. But yeah, original petrol still. I love the Associated Equipment Company on the rocker.
Cast on the rocker cover, yeah. It's it'd be interesting to get this running. Really would, just to hear the hissing of a petrol engine in an old bus. Yeah.
This is big enough to hold all that gasoline. Oh, so the straw body is quite
Looks
a
very
basic
solid.
looking design really, but they were in those early days. You can see traces of this original colour here, look, it's dark green.
Yeah.
So it's the dark green, and then what they basically call drab was the other colour, which is brown.
Description. Fabulous description.
This is the United fleet number, which is basically stands for AEC Regal. Cab, basic standard pre-war AC dash.
Got a very high step once you get in, isn't it, there?
Yeah.
But yeah, what a headroom if you're tall.
Yeah.
Alright.
We do single deckers, don't we? And then we moved to the 1950 AEC Regal, and
Quite a difference in appearance.
yeah, of course, the 9.6 needing a bit of sprucing, but
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good. Looks good.
It's not running at the moment, so it doesn't sound like anything, does it? Of course, 1950 is the grey badge, it relates to 1950.
Yeah.
Which they use the grey outline instead of the white.
Is this the livery it will be in ultimately?
Similar, it's more of a darker red, but similar cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically it's Westbury luxury pouches in Bristol. So it's working for.
Okay, so growing up, you both were surrounded by AECs in particular, with your father owning many. Which is the most memorable Regal that he ever owned, or that you guys ever owned?
Well, the most memorable Regal I've ever owned is my very first vehicle, which was a 1948 AEC Regal with duple A body, full front version with exposed radiator, which is quite modern looking for the day, which is what they put on to make it look more modern, the cab.
Yeah.
Rather than
Yeah.
half a cab.
And Badgers and Maudsley.
And that was badge engineered as a Maudsley, which is a company, another vehicle company that AEC took over in 1948. So to gain more stands at Earls Court Motor Show and the Geneva Motor Show, they badged them as Maudsleys, but they were actually AECs. So that vehicle, yeah, was HHP 755, which is one of the most memorable Regal I've owned.
The most memorable one I had the Hebel tow truck, but it's never on the road really, because it needed a lot of work doing to it. The other one was the London Transport Regal 4 RF 673, which now resides back in High Wycombe, back in its original home. But yeah, I did a lot of events with that, and absolutely superb bus to drive.
Yeah, and the Regal 4 was the underfloor chassis.
Yeah, the underfloor version. Yeah.
Because there was a pre-war Regal 4 which was basically a 4-cylinder engined chassis, so not to be confused.
Yes, I do apologize.
No, just sort of information.
Yeah,
the camera.
information indeed.
Alright, so my question simply, why Regals? What is it about the Regals that you both love?
They make the right noises. I've never seen an ugly Regal yet. They're handsome. I don't know, and the name Regal is just synonymous with style and attractiveness.
I, since being a boy, growing up with buses, mainly AECs, I've always liked Regals purely because I think they're cute, really. Being single deckers, small, dogs, I just found them attractive to look at, especially the coach versions. From looking in this book, you know, there's lots of lovely coach versions, bodies of AEC Regals, so it's just that really.
Yeah, and I've always liked them. They're handsome, attractive, and with the name Regal, it's synonymous with beauty and attractiveness. So
yeah, I mean,
that's all good.
Rackham named those models Regent and Regal, which were quite, aptly named really.
Yeah, definitely.
Goes well with them.
Quite a royal name, really.
Yeah,
Regent, Regal,
absolutely, yeah.
think about it that way.
Oh, nice. Okay. Ooh. What is the best livery on a Regal, do you think?
Well, I can name
That's
one,
a
which
tough
is on the front cover of this book, which is the City of Oxford Motor Service livery. Such an attractive livery of dark red, duck egg green and maroon. Would you agree?
I agree, yeah, definitely. A very attractive livery. Also, the Eastbourne,
Eastbourne's a nice
an attractive livery, the blue and cream and the white.
Yeah.
Halifax Corporation as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of liveries. I suppose Halifax Corporation orange, green and cream is one of those liveries that you like or loathe almost.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
You know.
Yeah, it's an unusual combination, but
Yeah.
it's what we've grown up with, really,
Yeah.
from that era.
What's your favourite engine in a Regal?
I'm going to say 7.7 litre, but a 9.6 is a close second.
Yeah, I agree with Scott there. 9.6 litre coupled to a crash box, I think, has got to be the Rolls Royce of AECs, not just in a Regal, in the Regent and in the goods chassis as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because
Absolutely.
when the 9.6 came out, it was quite revolutionary in the sense that it has timing gears rather than a timing chain, and it was a very quiet engine due to the coupling drive for the fuel pump as well, and the flexible mountings,
Yeah.
which made it a very
Smooth engine.
very smooth engine.
Yeah,
Indeed.
definitely.
Body.
Ooh,
Which body?
I don't think I've got a favourite. I've definitely got a few really. I mean, I love Regal coaches, so it's got to be a Jupiler. Now I don't actually own a Regal Jupiler anymore, but in our collection we own a Bristol with a Jupiler, which is actually the body that was produced for the Regal 3 chassis mainly. They were one-offs with the Bristol chassis in that batch, black and white motorways, but I do love the Plaxton body on this Regal 3. And yes, I do like a Wayman body with the flat panels, which is probably your choice.
I was just going to say that's my favourite. It's a 1946, early post-war. The Wayman with the big bulging destination at the front, so it takes half of your vision away. And the flared panels all round, which not every Wayman single deck Regal was like
That was
that.
more of an operated choice.
Yeah, Hebel had a lovely fleet of them, Devon General, and of course London Transport had a nice batch of them as well. So, actually, when do you envisage the Orange Brothers Regal going on the road?
Oh, soon
That is a big question.
as possible,
Soon as
but
possible.
it is in a queue with various others vehicles in our collection.
Yeah.
We have not to mention Bristols, but I'm going to. We have a very nice Bristol L6G, which is next in our queue of restorations. But yeah, these two Regals will take their turn
Yeah.
as soon as possible. Yeah, so I think the first job we'll be doing with this Regal is getting her running.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting with being a petrol engine.
Definitely,
It
yeah.
sounds simple, but I think it'll be. You have to replace everything electrical.
Well, yeah, it was withdrawn in 1950, but it's stamped on that the engine was overhauled in 1946. So,
Right,
so it would be, in theory, a low mileage engine. Turns over, so like you say, get the magneto, which is the part that creates all the power
Yeah,
for the spark, for the plugs to ignite the petrol, etc.
New set of plugs, new leads.
Yeah, I think we have a good chance of getting her running
Yeah,
and actually driving.
that's lovely. Absolutely
Good,
lovely.
wasn't it? Backfiring.
Do we know when it was last running?
Yeah, 1950.
1950.
So
Some years ago.
quite a few years, but these things can run again quite easily.
Yeah, well, we've found that over the years. Talking of that, when you actually had the green slates, mostly Regal, the first time we tried to start that, me and Ashley were at Burscough, where we used to keep, near Ormskirk, where we used to keep the buses. And we put a set of batteries on, bled her up, and she was trying. And the problem was, there was a suppressor wire for the
Oh, that's right.
internal comm system to tell people this is your, you know, we're passing this on tour and things. So we just cut the wire and we tried again, and she fired up second, third turn.
Yeah, straight away, and
Then off she went.
drove around. Yeah.
Yeah, pre-selector as well, so she just drove, went into gear and off she went. Remember that there? I've got it on tape somewhere. That would you?
Yeah, yeah.
Still.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd love to listen to that.
Yeah, I'll have to dig it out. I've got it. Still got it.
Probably a big question for you is, would you ever love to own a Regal again, or
Oh yeah.
another model?
Yeah.
Is it something you aspire to, or do you think that old sale?
I'd love to, but I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I'd love to have a driver one again one day, you know. But
I think we can
I know,
arrange that.
Yeah, well, that would be excellent. I appreciate that.
I think we can arrange to for Scott to have a drive of the beautiful Plaxton Regal here
Yeah.
Today.
That'd be
today.
nice.
Yeah. due to being overheated. I think it's just because of lack of use.
Yeah.
And he freed it off. But the engine sounds great.
The Devon General Regal sounded great considering that had ceased
That time, years ago. Which Regal? Right. Lost plenty of revs. Need plenty of revs because it's fast, dies down really fast. Like a Gardner.
Yeah, I'm used to the guys.
So I won't tell Dad. What use first? I never use use first, I don't know. No, you don't need to. You don't need to get the revs right up. You're going nicer. That was nice.
How was that, Scott?
Interesting. I'm a bit rusty, but I did all right. I think I passed.
It was
I
superb.
think I passed.
Wasn't it?
Harwell School of Driving.
Did he? Oh yes. What's the verdict, Ash?
Yeah, he passed. He's just like a bit rusty with the AEC crash, but it's practice, isn't it? Like anything. I'm not. Scott's a better driver than me anyway.
You were saying it's tricky.
Yeah,
tricky
it's a bit
one.
lethal, the gear
Yeah,
stick.
it's,
Nearly took his thumb off.
It did. It cracked my thumb with some.
So the gearbox is going to come off and the clutch, and that'll be investigated anyway. So she's a nice drive.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
So last time I rode on a Crashbox Regal coach was the LTA 629, which is a grey car's
And that's the
body.
Jupiler
Yeah.
FS4 body, which that's designation the 4-bay window body which I was talking about, which was the duple body designed purely for the Regal 3 chassis. But Black and White Motorways ordered 10 Bristol L's with that body.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And
it's a nice machine.
amazingly, this was around 1975, 76, so quite a few years ago. Yeah. I was just a boy.
Just a whippersnapper.
Another question I have for you is, how many Regals survive? And leading on to that, how would someone even manage to get hold of one if they wanted to preserve one?
Well, I'd say there's a lot of the Regal 4 chassis survives, especially London Transport.
Yeah, a lot of
versions,
RFs.
The RF
Red and green
designation. I'd say a couple of dozen maybe Regal 3s. If you counted them all up.
Yeah, there's. Thinking about it, I reckon there's probably 20. So
probably less early post-war Regals ones, and then even less pre-war ones.
Yeah, pre-war ones are quite thin on the ground,
Probably,
unless you're sat in front of one.
Yeah.
I was going to say I wouldn't look on eBay, but that's where they do appear.
Some people do put them on eBay.
Yeah. Classic bus magazines, they appear for sale, don't they?
Yeah.
Even Classic Cars for Sale site, which I've found was a good site in the past, which features a host of vehicles, not just cars,
sometimes,
parts. There's always buses on there.
Yeah, if you look there,
lorries. Yeah.
you could equally get into this hobby and get enthused about it.
And meet like-minded people.
Meet like-minded people. Associate yourself with a certain vehicle, perhaps that you know that what the owner eventually will want to pass that on to a good home, and get yourself involved that way, and put yourself out there that you want to be a good owner and preservationist for that vehicle.
Yeah,
because
securing its future.
Yeah, basically. You remember we were towing the Hebel Regal from Burscough to
with
Meltham.
with the Morecambe Tower Wagon.
No, with the Lennox Mammoth Major.
Oh,
Do you remember
yes,
that?
Yes.
And Dad was towing me, and I was sat on an oil drum, and I fell asleep, literally fell asleep, coming on the roundabouts outside Ormskirk. Remember that?
So near you.
Well, I think we jackknifed. We was in danger of jackknifing the bar. And
I vaguely
he
remember
put some
that.
coffee down me, and away we went.
Yeah, because it had no glass in it, didn't it?
Yeah, no glass either,
You'd
so
think,
how
you'd
would
think
you
the
fall
fresh
asleep?
air would keep you awake, but obviously not.
Yeah, I can remember that.
How old were you?
Probably early teens.
Like 11.
A bit
Well-
older than that, probably enough to steer the vehicle.
It's
It was
probably
just-
because it's just
we were
a
up early.
mind-numbing journey as well. isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. So you get to even
Maximum 40 mile an hour. You just
You needed a bag of sweets.
And
that's how
talking
Scott
about
stays awake.
always have a bag of
did-
sweets.
You did stay awake on that other. It's not a Regal, but it was the Bradford pre-war Regent Gritter, and you had no windscreen, and you had a balaclava on. And remember that
Because
photograph?
that was in the middle of winter, and this is no word of a lie. We were going down what's commonly known as Windy Hill on the M62. It just started to get dark, and it started snowing, and no glass in this vehicle at all, and it was just piling up on me as we were driving. So I was glad when we got to the bottom of Windy Hill that it was raining a bit then, but it wasn't as bad. But yeah. That kept me awake certainly. Yeah, so I was frozen to the wheel. Happy days.
So, thank you, Scott, for joining us, talking
My pleasure.
about the good old days and AEC Regals. So,
My pleasure.
Brilliant, guys.
wasn't
Well
too
done.
wooden then.
Slightly, but I feel like you're gonna.
Get into it a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a flat roof. Of course, this is.
Can you both please break out into dance?
Got some ACDC. Anyway,
Well done.
right, what now?
Thank you very much.